The discussion today is basically the concept of time value of money used for decision making. I repeat once again, whatever we learned so far, the TVM, time value of money in decision making. Yesterday we discussed one example wherein there was an asset which you can buy it at 50,000 rupees. The other option to you was you can take it on lease basis, 14,000 annual rental for 4 years. At an outset, you considered, is it better to pay 50,000 or better to pay 14,000 4 times 56,000? And we learned the comparison is not 50 versus 56. The reason is 50,000 today, whereas 56,000 in next 4 years is not actually after 4 years. I repeat again. 50,000 now, 56,000 in next 4 years, 4 parts. Therefore, we learned the comparison of 50 and 56 is not correct. Many of you say 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. But we learned it is correct, but 2 plus 3 both are on the same day. I told you 2 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to 9 we learned. But 2 rupee today, 3 rupee next year, 4 rupee other next year, then it is not 9. That's what, the time matters. And what is the step to be taken? 14,000, 50,000 you pay today. Please observe clearly. 14,000 you pay in next 4 years. You do the present value of this installment or rentals. You will get a value. Obviously 56,000 when you do a present value, it's less than that. And if you get it's less than 50,000, then advisable to go for lease. If it is more than 50,000, here 50, if you more than 50,000, it is advisable to go for buying option. Student, today I am going to discuss similar concepts and we are going to little more in depth. And this all what we are discussing is going to apply in case of your intermediate and final also. Of course, it is there in the CA Foundation course. I will take into the next example. Next example goes like this. Assume you have a machine just like earlier, 50,000 rupees. Listen carefully. 50,000 rupees. It gives you an annual income of 14,000 4 times every year. So, is it advisable to buy the machine? Is the question. I repeat. You have an asset. You have an option to buy the machine. If you buy the machine, you have to pay some money. It is not buying versus leasing. It is about whether to buy the machine or not. How much is the cost of the machine? It is 50,000. Example. All of you write down in your chat box. Cost 50,000. What are its benefits? Or it's called contribution profit. You buy machine. You do production out of it. You do a sale. You deduct all cost. You get some profit. You get some money. That I will assume simplicity 14,000 for 4 years. Assume the money is worth 18% per annum. How do you decide? Is it this way? 50,000 I pay today. Benefits I will get 14 into 4, 56,000. My benefits are more than my cost. So go for the machine. Buy the machine. I am getting to profit. Is it that way? No. What is wrong in that discussion? Just like buying and leasing. The wrong is 50,000 you pay now dear. But 14 into 4 you get the benefits in next 4 years. Let us assume a situation, 50 you pay now and assume 14 into 4, 56,000 you get today. Today paid 50, today you got benefits of 56,000. Today you are in profit of 6,000. Today you have to go for that machine. Am I clear to all of you? But the situation is not like that. 50,000 you pay today, benefits will come in next 4 years. So you have to take present value of that installments, present value of that profits. Can all of you look at your notes and let me know as we discussed yesterday? So present value of that all the benefits will come to what number? Some numbers you worked out yesterday. Around 37,000. That you can work it out. If all the present value of benefits, if it comes to 37,660, what should be your addition? Pay 50. But benefits you will get looks like 56, but the reality is just 37,660. Got paid, the cost is 50, benefits are 37,000. That means your loss of around 13,000. So should we buy the machine? No, we should not buy the machine. Like that you have to work out, and we have to continue on this. I think with this, what I will do is we'll work out the problems on the implication of this time value of money while making decisions. It's basically a decision making. Should I go for it, not? Should I buy? Should I take it a buying option, or should I go for a leasing option? All this comes under the last part, that is decision making. Let us work more problems on this. So just write some pointers, whatever you learned so far. Students, if you're writing, okay. There was one question raised by one student. The question is, if there was one question raised by the student, if there is a small difference, what should we prefer? You have to prefer based on its cost and benefits. Even if it is a smaller difference based on cost is more, don't go for it. Benefits are more, please. Okay, I repeat. There is one question raised by a student which says, if there is a small difference, you got 37,000, you got 38,000 cost. Obviously, cost is more, don't go for it. It's based on whichever is in more. If cost is more, don't go for it. As usual, outflow is more, don't go for it. Inflow is more, you are happily welcome. You will be able to do that. You want to go for that asset. Alright. Is it clear to all of you? Am I visible to all of you? Some of you are saying it's not visible. Yes. Yes means I am visible, right? Okay. Let me go to question number 42. How many of you answered? How many of you answered? There is a question which says full payment of 4,000 or leasing it for annual rate of 1250. I'll tell the steps once again. So the problem is related to which you can work out. It is an option of lease or buying versus leasing. Okay, we can do lease versus buy, no problem. If you go for buying option, you have to pay 4,000. If you go lease option, you pay year 1,250. Like that for 4 years. Year 2,250, year 3,250, year 4,250. So it is 5,000. We should do present value of it. Correct, no? Because this is 4,000 now. But this is not now. You pay 1,250 next 4 years. So you have to work out now. That is present value of annuity. Let me know what is the present value of annuity. 1,250 into 4. What it looks to you? 5,000. In today's term, it is 3,642. Now you compare. Now you can compare. So tell me, leasing where payment outflows are 3,642. Buying it is 4,000. You pay more in buying, less in leasing. Your preferred option is lease. So should it come always lease? No. In the question you are getting that way. Student, now I will go to the next question. All of you write in your notebook. There is a new concept called present value, net present value. The new concept called net present value. That is present, as its name says, when you buy a machine, I told you, you paid, if you remember the example which I started, 50,000 is the cost of the machine, 14,000 in next 4 years. Should I go for that machine or not? We worked out 50,000 we pay now, but 14,000 next 4 years present value is 37,000. Now 50,000 your outflow, 37 is your inflow. Both are present value. So there is something called net present value. Something income, expense, net profit. Similarly, net benefits are your present value of inflows, present value of outflows. Difference is net present value. All of you are clear with what I am explaining? Okay, net present value is something like net profit, income minus expense. Net present value of cash flows means what it finally remains with you in terms of cash. So present value of cash flows means cash inflows minus present value of cash outflows. So inflow minus outflow clear to you. Present value is important. As you looked at here, these both are now. That present value you have to compare. Please note in this example, both are outflows. Choose the least outflow. If one is inflow and one is outflow, you have to do inflow minus outflow. Hello, all of you are there? All of you are able to understand what I am discussing so far? Please respond to me. Yes, no? Super. So all of you write down. Net present value is equal to present value of benefits minus present value of cost. Some books also call it as present value cash inflow, present value cash outflow. Can all of you write this also? NPV, net present value means PV, CIF, cash inflow, COF, cash outflows. Exactly next year it comes to you again called net present value. We will discuss in detail there. But this is what the rough idea you should have it. We'll see whether you all have memory in the next year when we discuss this again when you come to intermediate. All of you are excited to be in intermediate? This question daily I will ask you so that you prepare well for foundation. Super, excellent. Okay, excellent. And you know that will happen only when you clear your CA foundation with good marks. Excellent. Okay, super. Students, I hope all of you written this formula. Now you respond to me yes for whether you written NPV formula. Whether NPV formula you have written. Okay. There is a question number 43, which says machine can be purchased for rupees 50,000. Machine will contribute 12,000 per annum for next 5 years. Assume the borrowing cost means interest rate is 10% per annum. Compute the present value of contribution. Also work out the net present value. Two things we have to work out. Students, shall we work out? Shall we work out this? Okay. So I will write the discussion again. Please note down the question details. Write in your notebook. Purchase price or cost of the machine. All of you write down. Cost of the machine 50,000. I will write down problem on NPV. You write along with me. Cost of machine is equal to 50,000 rupees. It's given in the question annual contribution. This word is nothing but profit. Annually it contributes to you for the profit of 12,000 per annum for 5 years. Okay. What was the interest rate? Borrowing cost. What was the borrowing cost? 10% per annum. All of you are there with me. That is 10% per annum. Interest rate, borrowing cost, 10% per annum. What are your questions? There is two questions. What is the present value of contribution? What is the net present value? Okay. So I have to do annual contribution of 12,000 for 5 years and borrowing. Okay. The word borrowing cost means the rate of interest. I will explain this little later to you, but you take it as I know. Okay. They are asking you present value of annual contribution. Present value of annual contribution. First you answer to me whether the benefit which you get, is it same every year? Is it same every year? Present value of the next 4-5 years, you will get some benefits. Is that money same every year? I am not saying its worthiness. Just answer to my question. You are putting 50,000, you get every year some benefit, some contribution, some profit, some cash inflows. How much is that? 12,000. Is that 12,000 same every year or different? 1 year 12, 1 year 13, 1 year 14. Is it same every year? Same every year. If every year is same, I'll put it this way. If annual contributions are same, so this tells you apply what? Annuity. Question is asked you, what is the present value of annual contribution? It is as good as annual contribution is your annuity, the present value of annuity, but not given regular or it is due. You have to tell me regular or due. Invest today, cost today, but benefits are measured, profits are measured year end. Therefore, you have to apply it is annuity regular. Present value of annuity regular. What is the formula? Present value of annuity regular. P by I 1 minus 1 over 1 plus I to the power n. Tell me what is the periodical money? What is the annual contribution? Annual profit? How much is that? Is that 12,000? Okay. What is the interest rate? 0.10. 1 minus 1.10 to the power 5. So, if at all that value is given here, you apply. No, not given. So, we have to do 12,000 by 0.10. 1 minus, all of you use calculator, 1.1 into equals square cube 4 5. Is it 1.61051 in your calculator? No response from you. You have to assume something. Okay, super. So 12,000 by 0.10, 1 minus, can all of you do 1 divided by 1.61051? What is your answer? No response? You are working out with the calculator. Okay, 0.620, 620, okay, 9213, okay, 6209213, super. So minus 1 multiply by 12,000 divided by 0.10. Last final answer. Whether everyone will get 45. If you get negative, because you made instead of 1 minus, you made 0.62 minus 1. So finally you get 45,489.44. This is question 1. Okay, shall we? It's okay. Slight difference here. You don't mind. That's fine. So then you have to work out net present value. Let me know what is net present value formula. What is net present value? Net present value is present value. Let us look at that page. Present value of benefits minus present value of cost. So, I'll write present value of benefits minus present value of cost. I also said present value cash inflow minus present value cash outflow. Okay, you know very clearly all your future benefit 12,500, though it looks 60,000, you will get 45,489.44 minus the outflow. How much you paid for that asset? How much you paid for that asset? Okay, it is 50,000. So last final answer 4,510. All of you work out, write down 4,510. 0.5, that's fine. Now I will. This is also a decision making question. I'm just summarizing here. Decision making about purchase of machine. So what are your two options? Yeah, 45 minus 50. Yeah, exactly. It is minus 4,510. Very good. Nice. Intelligent students. Right. This is important because your answer changes accordingly. Decision making. Look at my chart. Machine. One side. What are its benefits? Other side. What are its costs? So we worked out cost is 50,000 now. Cannot be compared with 12,000 per annum for 5 years. Because the 12,000 5-year ka money, 60,000 you will get in future. So this is future. Therefore, we should do what is its present value. We worked out just above 45,489. 45,489.44. Finally, we have to understand benefits is 45,489.44 now, whereas cost is 50,000 now. The very important point that you all have to notice is that now, yes, now last conclusion, your working should be what is its net present value. You can make out, a decision can be made easily. Why? Because your payment is 50,000 now. Benefit looks like 60, but in today's date it is 45,489. Payment 50 now. Benefit 45,489 now. Benefits are less, costs are more, so you are burning your money. Therefore, conclusion is you should not go for it. But we will do net present value. As it worked out above, net present value is 4,510. Positive or negative? As you said, it is negative. If NPV is positive, listen carefully, net present value is positive, then buy the machine. Because you get some money. NPV is negative, don't buy the machine. NPV is 0, it will not come like that. Some number you get. If NPV is 0, then it's your choice to go or not to go. That's left to you. Okay, I repeat once again. Look at the working once again here. Benefits 45,489, cost 50,000. Do the difference. That's all. No, this is also finally this also present value. This also present value. This also present value. Both are same day rupee comparison, so you can do it. What is the final conclusion? Should we buy or we should not buy? Should we buy the machine? Conclusion. Yes, no. Okay. So student, I'll just explain once again to all of you. You will get every year benefit. You buy the machine for 50,000. Machine will give you some profits, which is 12,000 per annum for 5 years. Since this all the money, next 5 year ka money, rupees are same, you have to do present value of it. Okay, first of all, why it comes to annuity? 12,000 every year money is same, annuity. Since this you are paying now, I have to compare this also now, so I have to do present value of annuity. Every year end you get profit, benefits, etc. Therefore it is regular. We worked out. We arrived at 45,489. So though it looks to you 12,000 into 5, 60,000, you get big money. No. Today's date it is not 60, it is just 45,489. That's what I said. No, 2 plus 3 plus 4, 9 looks to you. No, if it is in next 3 years, today it is much less than 9. Therefore, we get 45,489. Then NPV, present value of benefit minus present value of cost. Do it, you get 4,510.55. I made a chart here to explain you once again the same. decision making. Cost 50,000 now, benefit later, bring back to present, you will get 45. Do the difference, that is benefit minus cost in present value terms. That is important. You generally do like this, 60 minus 50, 10,000 profit. No. This if you bring back 45,489 and minus 50, you will end up with minus 4,510. Conclusion, NPV positive means some profit. Good, buy it. NPV net finally if it is minus, then it means you are incurring loss. Don't go for it. Conclusion, machine should not be purchased. Reason, NPV is negative. Okay, I will answer those questions. So it is 45,489. Am I right, my dear student? 45,489. We got correct. So 45,489. So that is correct. This 45,489 is here also. Here also. This is 4,500. 4,510. That you consider it as 4,510. 4,510. Next, so both A and B tells 45,489. That's okay. C wrong, D wrong. Now there is another question. What is net present value? Net present value is very careful. You have to be. Here also 4510. Here also 4510. But we realize benefits are less, costs are more, and we got negative. Present value of benefit minus present value of cost. Finally, you get negative. Therefore, this is wrong. It is not positive, it is negative. Therefore, your correct answer is A. I will conclude. Correct answer is for your 45,489.44 for first one. For second one, NPV, net present value, we got minus 4,510. Okay. You want to take down this once again? Anyone of you want to take down? It is 4, there's 1 0 you add it, it is minus 4510. Shall I? Arafat has one question. What if their annual contributions are different? I will explain you in the next one. Okay. All of you can just take the photo of it quickly. Is this all of you written? All these pointers you are written? Okay. Shall I slowly move forward? Okay. So the answer starts from here. This is first part. All of you write down this first part. Second part you write NPV, net present value. Third part you write this. If all of you have completed this, then I will conclude. I will go to the next question. Super. Students will go for next problem in this. Okay. So what did we understand to now? What did we understand? Finally, we understood a concept of net present value. Write in your notebook. All of you write. Detailed computation of NPV. Detailed computation of NPV will come in CA Inter. CA Inter, all of you write down, put dash financial management, put dash. I told you yesterday something called capital. Let us see how much memory all of you have. Yesterday I told you what is that capital. Let us see. Capital, what we called? Oh, excellent. All of you write big bold. It is in capital budgeting. Now all of you write different cash flows. Same NPV I will work out, but different cash flows. What does that mean, sir? What does it mean, different cash flows? It means to say, listen, we discussed that in the previous example, 50,000 you buy the machine and you will get benefit 12,000, 12,000, 12,000. Whether it should be uniform cash flows. Here, every year 12,000. But it could be 12, 1 year you may get more profit, 1 year you may get less benefits. Then how do you do it? That's what we are learning in this called different cash flows. I will explain you with the ideas. Don't worry, it's an easy way of doing it. It is earlier it was every year same, you could have applied annuity. If all years are different, how do you do? All of you write in your notebook different cash flows. Have you written? All of you written? Have you written different cash flows? Okay. Let us look at this question. Compute net present value for a project with a net investment of 1 lakh. Net cash flows. Net cash flow means cash inflow because the above is outflow, no? 55,000, 80,000 and 15,000. Further, the company's cost of capital is 10%. Cost of capital. The word cost of capital means your interest rate. If at all you don't have funds, no, you will borrow somewhere else, no, that rate. This point I will discuss in detail. Even the earlier it was named as borrowing cost. Okay. Present value of inflow at 10% for 3 years, 0.909, 0.826, 0.7. Data given, we don't know how to do that. And answers are given to you. Shall I tell you how do you do it? Shall I tell you how do you do it? Okay. Students, last year, whether cash flows are same or different. Last problem, whether cash flows are same or different. Same. Now is it same? In this example, no. We are different cash flows. So how do you do it? That is the worry, you all have it. I will tell you how to do it. Year, and I will write cash flows. Tell me year 1, year 2, year 3. Can all of you tell me what are your, I will write little, okay, no problem. Tell me, what is the year 1 cash flow? What is the year 1 cash flow? Can you able to make out in the question? First year, what is that money you got? I am not taking this at all. This is your payment. First year you got 55,000. Very good. Second year you got 80,000. Third year you got 15,000. Then they given some, here numbers, right? I call it as present value factors. At what rate of interest? At 10%. Okay, they say it is 0.909. What actually it means? If you receive 1 rupee 1 year later, today it is 90 paise they are telling. Are you able to follow what I am saying? Sir, how do you get that? 1 rupee 1 year later, today how do you get 0.909? It is very simple. You know your amount formula in compound interest, P into 1 plus I to the power n. Listen carefully. 1 rupee 1 year later amount, not now. P I don't know. 1.10 to the power 1. 1 divided by 1.1. All of you use calculator. 1 divided by 1.1. Fastest finger on your chat box. 1 divided by 1.1. Boys and girls, where are you? Fast. Hello, calculators are working. I'm just shouting here. Okay, 0.909. That's how that money they have arrived. That's how that money is arrived. Okay, super, super. Sir, how do you get 0.826? Same thing. 1 rupee if you get it 2 years later, this 1 rupee if you get 2 years later, today how much? Same thing, 1.10 by 2. If you do 826, you get this answer. Third year, you get 0.751. More than that, why do you worry? It is given already, no? Okay. Now the meaning is, 1 rupee after 1 year, listen carefully, 1 rupee after 1 year, today it is 90 paise. You are getting 50,000 after 1 year. Today it is how much? Just multiply. Remember, you have cash flow, you have PV, multiply, you will get present value cash flow. I repeat, you have present value, you have cash flow, multiply, you will get present value cash flows. Can all of you multiply these two and let me know? 55,000 into 55,000 into 0.909. First, 49,995. Very good. 0.826 into this. Let me know. 0.826. 0.826. Multiply by second year, it is 80,000. It is 66,080. Third year, 15,000 into 0.751. How much is the answer? 11,265. Shall I explain you what does it mean? Listen carefully. 55,000, is it now or you will get 1 year later? Is it now? Fast answering. That you understood. Very good. 55,000, is it now or after 1 year? 1 year later, 55,000. But I want today. Today, it is just 49,995. Everyone understood? You get 80,000 2 years later. Is it today 80? No. Today, it is 66,080. Same way, 15,000 third year end, you get 11,265. You always do, no? 55 plus 80, 135. Wrong. 55,000 Boba, it is 1 year later. 80,000 2 years later. Wrong. Different points of time you can't add. 2 plus 3 is not 5. 2 plus 3 is 5 provided both are on the same day. That's the reason. 49,995 today. 66,080 today. 11,265 today. Since all are present value, since all are today's money, now you can add. Can you add all three and let me know? 1,27,340. Excellent. Here you all these three you add, no? 55 plus 80 plus 15. So is it I think 1,50,000? All three if you add, is it 1,50,000? Okay. What you get in next 3 years, 1,50,000. Today it is all equal to 1,27,340. This I call present value. All are inflows, cash inflows. Present value cash inflows. You can add summation also because you added, but that's okay. Tell me, what is your outflow? What is to get that? How much you are spending? How much is your investment? How much is your investment? I'll explain. Don't worry. Whoever missed out, don't worry. I'll explain once. 1 lakh. Is it present value of cash outflows? 1 lakh you have to pay now to buy the machine. Yes. I can call it is present value of benefits. This is present value of cost. Tell me. Final answer. 1,27,340 minus 1 lakh. Last final answer. 27,340. Tell me, positive or negative? Positive or negative? Inflows are more, outflows are less, it is positive. Tell me, should you buy that machine? Should you buy that machine? NPV is positive. Therefore, buy the machine. NPV is positive, therefore buy the machine. Is that clear to all of you? Since NPV is positive by the machine. Okay. First, all of you just glance this, and I have many things to explain you. Don't worry, it's not done. I'm just so they asked you what is the net present value. Compute net present value. Net present value is 27,340. If they ask you, should I buy machine? Your answer they give. Whether the machine should be purchased, they say should be purchased, should not be purchased, don't know, none of this. So your answer should be purchased. 27,340. Okay. Good. 27,340. Your last answer C, 27,340. Okay. Before I go to this next one, I wanted to explain a little more on this aspect. Here in the question 0.909, 0.826, 0.751 are given. All of you are there. If at all money were same, apply present value of annuity formula. If different are they given, no, that you use multiply with the annual cash flows. So now the question to you, 2-3 important things I will explain. 2-3 important things I will explain. What if these decimals are not given? Will you every time apply that compound interest formula? I told you A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power n. Third year end I get 1 rupee. P into 1.10 to the power 3. Like this should I do? Okay. If you don't know, okay. Suppose if you don't know any of this, I'll give you an idea. Listen carefully. Third year end. What is the money you are going to get? 15,000. Is it amount? Answer, is it amount? Third year end what you get, is it amount or principal? I will not answer. Amount. You want to know present value, no? P. 1.10 to the power 3. All of you use calculator fast. 15,000 P into 1.331. I don't know. You have to work it out. Tell me 15,000 divided by 1.331. Will you get 11,265? Almost same. Yeah. Something similar that number you get. Okay. Excellent. No problem if you get 11,269, don't worry. But you get that idea, no? How do you? Suppose you missed out. You don't know how to do it. If the decimals are given, this is another method. But this takes little time. Okay, I will tell you what is this, and what is this. Shall I tell you? How do you get that? How this can be linked? Interestingly, in this formula, what these numbers are, they do 15,000 into, what is 1 by 1.331? What is 1 divided by 1.331? 1 divided by 1.331. No response from you. Is it 0.751? Is it 0.7513? Yeah, that is what they have given you. They have done all this working. They have done 1 divided by 1.331. They have done and everything given. Your work is just multiplied. That's what you did here also. 15,000 into 0.751. I think hope all of you understood what I am explaining. Okay. I'll give one more idea. So much interlinked, no? Super. Students, suppose in exam, they are not given you the decimal and you will take more time to work out your compound interest, amount formula. That is time consuming. Shall I give you a nice idea to work out these values? Okay. You should not tell anyone. Top secret. All of you hold calculator. Tell me all of you are having calculator with you. I told no, calculator is the best gift what your CA Institute has given you. Now you want what rate of interest? I'm just telling you, if these are not given, how do you do it? What rate of interest first? 10%, right? Okay, look at here the working. Look at what is there on the screen. 1 you're right. 1 you're right. All the problem. Point. Tell me what percentage? What percentage? No response from you. 10%. In decimal it is 10. If it is 12%, you write 1 by 1.12. If it is 8%, what you should do? 1 by 1.8 or 0.8? 0.8. If it is 9%, 1.09. If it is 3%, 1.03. If it is 15%, 1.15. I like that you have to do. Now I will do 1 divided by 1.10. All of you are doing that. Let me know your answer. 1 divided by, you have to do only that. Don't do anything else. 1 divided by 1.1. Okay, you get 0.9 equal symbol 0.909. Okay, then next step, press equal. Press equal only. Tell me what is the answer. No response here. Where are you, boys and girls? You did not get. Okay. 0.826. Super. So second year ka you got. Don't have to do anything. Next, press equal. That's all. Your calculator is so intelligent. Do all that calculation. If you are happy, you can clap wherever you are there. I think these all decimal. Calculator knows so good. Just you have to use the calculator. And going to help you a lot in the intermediate. Now this time is given. Shall we look at? Okay, let me try it out. If the decimals are not given, you don't have to panic. You cannot tell question is wrong. No, I'll give you. If it is 8%, all of you work for 8%. 8%. 1 point. What number? 0.8. 1 divided by 1.08. Tell me. Then equal symbol. 0.9259. For second year, equal symbol. 0.8573. Third year, equal symbol. 0.7938. Like that each year you can do. Easy? Excellent. Something new you learned. Finally, we learnt and understood. Your calculator is so brilliant, huh? Okay. So just you have to do the calculations. It's not coming, it will come. You have to press equal. If it is not coming, I'll give one more idea. Who is this? Tanish. Okay. 1 divided by 1.10. Okay, 1 divided by 1.10, divide 2 times. 1 divided by 1.1. All of you got? Purvi, you told you are not getting? Okay. 0.909 you get. If you don't get, the next step is, those who are not getting in the calculator, 1 divided by 1.1, you will get equal. If you don't get, the other method is into you press, then equal. Into press and equal. All of you are getting? Purvi Shetty, are you getting now? 1 divided by 1.10, you will get equal symbol 0.909. Now into, then equal. Equal, you will get. Okay, super. Some calculators are, I don't know how to tell which made in dash. Okay. Jokes apart, we will continue. Oh, Casio calculator, super. Okay. Why 10% is given in question, no? The rate is 10%, it is given. Okay. I think you all understood this logic of computation. Everyone understood the net present value. Now I have more questions to tell you and then we will go for a break. Shall we? Yeah, Rakshit has if benefits are more than present value of benefits are more than the cost, but not benefits, then you have to go for it. Present value is less than the cost, don't go for it. Present value of benefits are less than its present value of cost or just cost. Present cost and present value same because it's the present value only. Okay, students, they say that the borrowing cost. Some of you are saying interest rate. These are all they give. Some will give it as cost of capital. How do you work out this kind of problem? Borrowing cost, interest rate and cost of capital. What are these three refers? In this question 10% is given. In this question what is given? 10% is given. Please note, all of you please note, borrowing cost means in this case I have to buy a machine for 1 lakh. I don't have machine. I don't have rupees. What I will do? But I want to buy that machine. What I will do? I will go for a loan, right? Whether loan will come free to you? No, it involves a cost. If you borrow any money, what interest rate is applicable is called borrowing cost. Understood? It's nothing but interest rate. Same. What is cost of capital? That's what. There is a source of money to you. There is one kind of capital to you. You want to raise some money and that will not come to free to you. That has cost. If it is a loan, it is interest. If it is shares, what you have to pay to your shareholders? Dividend. If it is a debenture, what you have to pay to the debenture? Interest. That is called as cost of capital. I think this is what is sufficient at this junction of time. And then there is one or two small concepts which I am going to discuss to you in the later part. Okay. You have to tell me, all of you know the leap year? Hello. Super. Have I told about leap year to you any time earlier? No. All of you know that. Okay. Super. So, know your mathematical knowledge. Just a test. So, you know leap year, what is divisible by 4 and 29 days in February, etc. So, I will write some years. You tell me, is it a leap year or not? Is that okay? Is that okay? You have to tell me. I will give you A, B, C, D, E, F. You have to tell me the years. I just write like this. Which years are not leap years? Is that okay? Which years are not a leap year? Quickly you have to answer. 2019. It was long back 100, 200, 2020, 2100 which is yet to happen, okay. Question to all of you, among these which is not a leap year? The right answer is obviously, as you already said, this is not a leap year. No doubt in that. This is also not a leap year. This is also not a leap year. This is also not a leap year. This is a leap year. This is a leap year. A, B, C, E. It's interesting in solar system, or when you calculate the days. 1 year is 365 days and some extra 6 hours. So every 4 years it will make you leap year. But even there is a slight difference in that minutes and seconds. What happens is that it makes such a way that for every 100 years, 100, 200, 300, then it will not become leap year. Though this 100, your what do you call it? AD 100 is actually divisible by 4, but it is not a leap year. This is also not leap year. Therefore, another rule is, anything divisible by 4 is a leap year. Another rule is there. In that, if it ends with the 2 zeros, 100, 200, 300, example, 1900. Though it looks to you is a leap year because 1900 divided by 4 is a leap year. But in fact, the reality is not a leap year. So, how do you do? Divide by 400 you have to do. Or in other words, you remove 20, if it ends with 20, remove 20 and then divide by 4. Remove 20 and then divide by 4. Not a leap year. No, not a leap year. Here it's okay, 2020. If it ends with 20, remove 20, then it's 21, not a leap year. So in this case, yes, it's a leap year. In this case, it's exactly, it's not ending with the 2 zeros. Finally, A, B, C and E are not leap years. Rest all are leap years. Shetty Kiran and Anaga CG both have told the correct good answer. Excellent. Congratulations, you have done good work. Alright, shall we take one small break? I know the others might have disappointed, but some of you are very happy. You know why? Many of you believe that it is not your level question. Alright, we'll come back after how many minutes? Now it is 9:45. We'll be back at 9:50. We'll be back at exactly 9:50. We'll be starting the next problem on your capital budgeting, and it's almost at the end, and then I'll summarize the entire discussion, and some 1 or 2 problems I'll work out extra to give you a little more knowledge. Probably it may or may not come, but if it is prepared, very good. Such kind of problem is there in study materials. Thank you. We'll meet exactly after 5 minutes. 9:45. We'll meet at 9:50. Don't go anywhere. Have nice one Kashaya and come back. And last part is crucial because we have to summarize quickly on all the topics we learned. I think we learned about the net present value and the different problems involved in that. Am I clear to all of you? Hello, hi. After Aditya, Prabhuji, what you had after you were in the break? Right. We will discuss. Next one is about water. Okay. Hot water. Alright. I will discuss the next concept. It is called as CAGR. In the new syllabus, they have added something called as compounded annual growth rate. Shall we discuss? After your tea break or whatever the break you had, let us see the next concept, concept 30. Please make a note in your notebook. The next right, concept 30, compounded annual growth rate. It is often used to describe, example, say in 5 year, 8 year, 10 year, your sales was this and sales ended up with an average compounding wise from that to that. Say 100 rupee became 500. So 500. So that growth is expressed in the compounding part. That is called CAGR. CAGR. All of you write down CAGR, compounded annual growth rate. How exactly? It's given here. It is often used to describe. The growth at the time of some elements of business like revenue, sales, could be number of customers, could be the profit in lakhs, crores, etc. Could be the goods delivered, units delivered, etc. This is what CAGR explains. This is a formula. CAGR from 0th year to nth year is value of nth year. V means value of nth year. T means term. Value of 0th year. Example 2012 and 2016 given. 12, 13, 14, 15. 2012 is 0 year. So 2013 year 1, year 2, like that 2016 you get. So nth year and 0th year, and as it's given here, to the power 1 by Tn minus T0 minus 1, where Vt0 and Vtn. T0 means value at the beginning period, value at the ending period. V means value. Suppose the revenues of the company for the years are given to you here. So they started with the 2013, compared 14, 15, 16, 17, compute the annual compounded annual growth rate. So totally they given you 5-year sales. You have to compare from 2013 to 2017 what annual growth rate it has. Shall we answer, my dear student? Shall we answer? All of you ready? First, all of you write the formula. So it says V value of Tn CAGR. All of you want to take down the formula? Want to write down the formula? Please let me know. Want to write down the formula? Some response from you? Yes. Want to write down the formula first. Just write down this formula. You hope that you made out that minus 1 is also there. If you have written down this formula, then I will go to the problem. Vtn, Vt0, 1 by Tn minus T0 minus 1. Shall we work out the solution then? Vtn, Vt0, look at here, above 1 by Tn minus T0, entire answer minus 1. Tell me, what is the value? This is okay. This will take T0, T1, T2, T3, T4. This is value for T0, value for T1, value for T2, etc. etc. So value for nth year, simply it is 250. Value in the starting year, 100. Whole power 1 by year 4 minus 0. That's what? 4th year, 4, here it is 0. That means 4 years you compare. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that clear to all of you? Minus 1. That results into 250. It becomes 2.5 to the power 1 by 4 minus 1. How do you do 1 by 4? 2.5. How do you do 1 by 4? Any guess? Of course, in logarithm you can do it, but the easy method is square root is 1 by 2. 2 times if you do it is 4th root. 2 times you do, tell me what is the answer. Square root again square root. Square root is 1 by 2, again square root is 1 by 2 into 1 by 2, 1 by 4. What is your answer? Is it 1 point? No response from you. What you are getting? 2.5. Hello, respond to me so that I can make out, are you able to follow? 2.5, 1 by 4 means square root 2 times. Okay. 2574. Excellent. 2.5 square root, again square root symbol, 2 times. You will get 1.2574 minus 1. Answer, let me know. Last answer, 25.74. It comes to you 0.2574. You want in decimal, no? Minus 1, you do, you will get this answer. Minus 1 is there. Multiply by 100. Finally, you end up with 25.74. Whether everyone got 25.74? I repeat the discussion again. I do it again here. Last year value 250 divided by 100 whole to the power. They say 1 by Tn minus T0. N means 4. 4th year minus 0th year. So 1 by 4 minus 0. Minus 1. All you work out, you will get 1.2574 minus 1. You end up with finally 0.2574. 0.2574 is 25.74. Let me know which is the right answer. 27.74, 25.74, 26.62. Right answer choice is B. This is the right answer. One by 4, how do you do in the calculator? So, Tanish Uchit, it's like this. 2.5, all of you have the 2.5 in the calculator. Square root symbol is there. Whether your answer 1.5811. 1.5811. Tanish Uchil, please answer. Yes. Then you have to press again square root. 1.2574. That is this part. And it says minus 1. So minus 1. You will get 0.2574. Multiply by 100, you will get the answer. Alright. Student, now I will go give you one more one more topic. In exam, this kind of problems on bond. All of you write down. Problems on bond. If it is other than 4, you have to use logarithms and etc. If it is other than 4, you don't have 1 by 4, you have 1 by 3, 1 by 5, 1 by 7. Where it is square root wise you can't do, you have to go by logarithms, which you will come to know in the later part once you learn logarithms. Alright, so now problems on bond. The question will go like this. I will take an example. You can write along with me. Right, all of you write down a question. How much should be paid? How much should be paid for 10% redeemable bond? 10% redeemable bond which will be repaid at par after 3 years. Or you can say how much should be paid today. You can include this word better. How much should be paid today for 10% redeemable bond which will be repaid at par after 3 years. Okay. Shall I answer now? Shall I answer this? You have a bond, listen carefully. You have a bond, redeemable bond, debenture like that. And that is how many years redeemable bond? It is after 3 years it is redeemable. And at par, redeemable at par, no premium, no discount, etc. You will get 100 rupee at 100 rupee. So redeemable bond, rupees 1000 you add. Redeemable bond, rupees 1000. Whenever they say rupees 1000, what is that? Can anyone guess and let me know? Rupees 1000 bond. Let us see your accounting knowledge. Whenever a question says rupees 1000 bond, is it market value? Is it face value? Excellent. It is face value. So question has given a face value rupees 1000 and debenture rate of interest 10%. Rate of interest what percentage? 10%. And in 3 years. Question, how much you have to pay today? What should be the today's money? What should be the today's payment? In this question, they are not given you the borrowing rate or cost of capital. Assume in the question, okay, assume in the question cost of capital or your borrowing rate, as usual we used last time, borrowing rate 14%. With these detail, you have to work out how much you have to pay today. I'll read the question, all of you refer again. How much should be paid today for 10% redeemable bond of rupees 1000 which will be repaid at par after 3 years? Borrowing rate or borrowing cost is 14%. Shall I answer, students? Have you written the question? Shall we do the solution? Is that clear to everyone? Okay. Solution part. The details are given you. Face value is 1000. Rate of interest on bond is 10%. Today's payment is what? Sometimes they also give you what should be market value. How much you have to pay in the market? What should be its value so that I can buy it? Nothing but today's value. Always when they give market value, it means to say market always pursue it is present value of future benefit. I repeat, market value is always, listen carefully, all of you write down in your notebook, market value of that bond, debenture, etc. is present value of future benefits. You will get some amount in future, no? Uska present value is market value. I repeat once again. You will get some income and values in future. If you take the present value, you have to assume that that value market has that money. Or you can buy that bond or debenture at that particular market value. Okay. So, write down market value. They are not given, I am just telling you. Market value is present value of future benefits. Shall we write down this? Market value is equal to, if they ask you what is the market value today, nothing but present value today. Present value of future benefit. Okay. Now, it means there is a debenture or a bond which is tradable in the market, tradable in the stock market. So, as per that question, what they are telling you is, you have a bond which you can buy it. Question at what price you want to buy. You have to look at, if you buy, what and all will come to you in future. Someone else already purchased, he is selling to you. Today if I buy that bond, I will get every year interest. Do you all agree with me? Every year what percentage interest? Answer to me, every year what percentage interest? No response from you? 10%. Okay, that is one thing which you have to take. Second thing which you have to consider is, for how many years? It is for next 3 years. After 3 years. Today in the year beginning you buy, first year you get interest, second year you get interest, third year also you get interest, and your bond value will be paid back. Someone has already purchased it, right? And it is transferred to you. So after 3 years you will get the money. He is not a shareholder, he is transferred to you. You will get the money. He is not a debenture holder. Debenture holding ship is transferred to you. You are the debenture holder. Third year end you will get that money. How much you will get? Redeemable, repaid, redeemable at par. It can be redeemed at premium or par. You will get 1000 rupees ka 1000 rupees. You have to work out how much if I pay, it is worth that you get the future value. So, write down market value is equal to present value of future benefits. So, can you tell me what are your cash flows? Cash inflows. If you buy the machine, okay, I will write year 1, years, year 1, year 2, year 3. If you buy that bonds, tell me, in first year what you will get? You will get interest, no? Do you all agree with me? You will get interest. Tell me first year what interest you get? 10% on 1000. Answer from you. 10% on 1000. You will get 100 rupees interest. Second year what you will get? 10% on 1000. You will get 100 interest. Third year what you will get? 10% on 1000. You will get 100 interest. Also, third year ending, will you get back your bond value? It is redeemable debenture. Third year end, look at here carefully. Third year end, once you get interest, you will also get debenture value or bond value. Bond redeemed at par or premium. Will you get more than that or less than that? Is it bond redeemed at discount or at par? Par means equal. Bond at par. You will get that money from the company. How much you will get? 1000. Okay. Question is, what should be paid today? Can I do like this? Sir, 1300. No. Can you guess why it is not so? Why it is not 1300? I want to know. Why I can't add it? Today's value means add all the 4, no? No, you are not getting 100 today. You are not getting 1000. You will get in future. I want to know present value. So I have to apply. Do you remember that problem? Present value factors. Present value factors. You don't have money, dear. You borrowed from someone else. What is the rate of borrowing? What is the borrowing rate? All of you are able to make out? I told no some interest that percentage. Here 14%. You will get confused. So what is that 10%? What is that 14%? 10% is the interest rate on that bond. It is like a dividend rate. What we have to consider is, Baba, you are paying today. You borrowed some money. You made a bank loan. You borrowed from your father-in-law or some relative. For them, you have to pay interest. No, that is 14%. Okay. PV factor 14%. I said 1000. Redeemable bond 1000. 10% are not 10,000. Sneha Yadav. It is 1000 rupees. 10% on 1000 is 100. Oh, here I have written 10,000. Okay. Here it is 1000. So the answer is 100. Okay, correct. 10% on 1000, 100. Okay, now I want to know the PV factor. That time, how did you work out? All of you use calculator. 14% is your borrowing rate. That was 10%, 1 divided by 1.10. Now, 1 divided by 1.14. All of you let me know. 1 divided by 1.14. So, is that your answer 0.877? Respond to me. Yes, no, single 3 digits. Okay, 3 digits, fine. Press equal for second year. Tell me the number. Second year, press equal 769. Press equal for third year 0.674. 6749. I can, okay, 67497. I can write 675. Okay. 6749. I can write 675. Next, what you have written? All of you quickly. Fast, all of you fast. Fast. Is it 0.592? Fast. No response from you. Everyone should tell me what is the number. 0.592. Yes. Everyone. Yes. All of you are wrong. That's what I want. That's what many students will go wrong. See, B, you have to be really careful. You have to be really careful here. Year 1, year 2, no problem. Year 3, student third year end you got interest. Third year you got amount also, your money. It is third year end, not fourth year end. No. It is third year end. Some of you got confused. This is also Y3. This is also Y3. Both are Y3, not Y4. End of third year. Therefore, what I should do? Tell me. What I should do? Got confused. Year 1, year 2, year 3. In a hurry, you will take. You will do year 4. You gone. You have take the year 3 only. What is year 3? It's 0.675. Present value cash flow. Multiply these two present value cash flows. Tell me. 0.877 into 100. Simple. It is 87.7. Multiply these two. Then 76.9. 67.5. Third one 675. Do the total. Multiply this into this. All this multiplication. Let me know the last answer. 87.7 plus 76.9 plus 67.5 plus 675. 907. You told no 100, 300, 1000. I get 1300 in future. Today it is not 1300, it is 907. If someone is going to sell to you the worth price, market price, the intrinsic value, the actual value of that bond, you have to buy not 1300, not 1000, pay 907 and get it. So 907.1 is the answer. Like this question called the valuation of bond. Okay, I quickly answer this once again. There is a redeemable bond. One fellow wanted to sell you. How much you have to pay today? Or what should be its market value so that I can buy it? So you have to know what that bond will give you. That 10% 1000 face value bond Yearly 10% the rate of interest what company gives, 10% into 1100, second year 100, third year 100, last year it is redeemable bond at par, so you will get your 1000 rupee back. You will get 1000 rupee back. So redeemable means you will get back money. Someone 4 year, 5 year back, one fellow have paid that money. Redeemable means you will get, now you are the debenture holder, you will get the money. You will get what? Redeemable at par. So you have to take 1000 rupee. If it is redeemable at premium of 5%, 1000 plus 5%, 1050 you have to write here. If it is redeemable at discount, not there in the practice, but if it is there, that 1000 minus 1%, 2% discount you have to write. Hope all of you understood here. Redeemable at par, therefore I took 1000 rupees. I will get 4 money, 100, 100, 100, third year end. Third year end again I will get 1000 rupees. These are all my future inflows. If so, how much I have to pay today? Today it's worth this. So I have to multiply by present value and factor. How do you get this? You borrowed money at 14%, which you can make out here. You can make out borrowing rate in the question. Your borrowing rate was 14%. So you have to do 1 by 1.14. If it is 18%, 1 by 1.18. I should not take this 10%. That is company is giving. Company's interest rate, that is nominal interest rate. But you borrow money from someone else. That is at 14%. So 1.14. 1.14 if you do, you will get the answer equal. But for third year, again in a hurry, you will do fourth year. No, there is no fourth year. There are all 3 years. So year 3, multiply all this, you will get 907.1. Someone said in the calculator it is not coming. Okay. I told no, 1 divided by 1.14 equal. You will get 0.877. Then press just equal. Press equal, like that each year you will get. If you don't get, I told one more method. 1 divided by 1.14 equal. After that, if you don't get, press into, then equal. Equal, it goes. If you don't get after one step equal, just into and equal, you will get the answer. Alright. Okay. What is MV? What is market value? Market value is nothing but present value of future benefits. It is the present value of future benefits. Okay. Alright. So students, I think we have discussed all the concepts in this chapter in detail. I want you to glance or just summarize this chapter. But before I go to that chapter, okay, excellent. Students, before I summarize that entire chapter, I wanted you to have an utmost attention for another couple of 10 minutes so that we can close this chapter. All of you are there? Full? Complete? Okay. Students, this chapter carries you very good weightage in the CA foundation. Around 35 to 40% comes from this chapter. So one set of questions which I will be giving you post this, which you have to work. We have worked out many examination questions. You also have to work some more questions on this. And probably it is kind of assignment for you to, I will give you 3 days, you work and you have to submit. Can all of you tell yes for that? Can you do that? Okay. Some response from you? Super. Students, this chapter, since it has a higher weightage, you have to learn not just perspective of exam, you have to learn in a different ways. I was mentioning to you, this basically your schooling chapter of interest, simple interest, compound interest and annuities. But if at all you learn, if you don't learn beyond a level, you will not grow. That's why many ideas and techniques, tips I share to you. And I want to quickly glance this chapter so that you'll be able to recollect whatever I'm discussing. Suppose if you are there and you want to close your eyes and glance, recollect, it's excellent wherever you are there. So the point 1 I started with, what is this concept of time value of money? I told the same example, Nimajji, your granny, 1 rupee and your 1 rupee not same. Probably your 1 rupee and your grandchildren 1 rupee will not remain same. There's a lot of difference. We want to know the value of, we know there is a value. I asked this question, I started with this question. Oh, everyone remembers Ajji well. Okay, thank you. with a lighter mode. Okay. All right. So I have told this point to all of you. Whether your shirt, pant, books has a value, you said yes. Whether your money has a value, you said yes. Whether your time has a value, it's yes, too much, it has a value. And whether money changes over its, many value changes is over a period of time, yes. That's where I started. I told today's 1 rupee is more valuable than tomorrow's or future 1 rupee. Called time preference for money. Second was, how do you do that time value of money? One component we took in this chapter is interest. Then we learned interest is the income on investment. Can all of you write in your chat box? I told it is interest income is similar to dash income. Let us see. Fill in the blank. Interest income is similar to dash income. First, correct. It is income on investment, but I compared with the rental income. If you have a land and building and 1 crore worth property, you give it for a particular fellow and you get 12 lakh rupee rentals per annum. Similarly, 1 crore rupee, if you give it to a Canara Bank or Syndicate Bank or your ICICI Bank, that banker will give it to someone else. He is using your money. Therefore, he gets some return. It should be compensated to you. As you let out the land and building, the tenant is using, you are going to get the rent. Similar here. Here, in this case, user of the money is the bank. How do you compute interest? Can all of you type in the chat box? How do you compute interest? SI, CI. SI is always on original sum. CI is on the increased value. For year 1, it remains same. Always CI greater than SI. We also discussed when we worked out. We also discussed or we learned that simple interest, when you discuss, series of amounts follows dash. Series of amounts follows dash. AP. Series of amounts in CI follows GP. The next learning for all of us was computation of interest was the next one. After learning this, SI formula, PNI. Fourth one was SI formula. SI is equal to PNI. A equals P plus SI and its derivation. Various workings on SI, P, N, CI, P, N, SI, A working, N if it is in part of the year. Then when we discussed all this, I have given you a nice idea. Money become double. Take 100, take 200. So it is in 8 years. So difference is 100 rupee by 8, 12.5%. They give you 100 rupee become 300. So triple. So 200 divided by, say, let's consider 12. 200 by 12 you do. That is the rate of interest. That is the number of years. And we discuss one problem. 100 rupee become, money become double in 4 years. It becomes 7 times in how many years? I told you 1 rupee, 2 rupee double in 5 years. 2 rupee become 3 rupee. AP. 3 rupee become 4 rupee. AP. That logic you have to use. And we worked out a lot of shortcuts in that. I worked out a problem on pressure cooker. I hope you remember that cooker example of Harsha you purchased in the morning and forgotten the purse and there was only one small amount was there. What was the rate of interest computed? We entered into compound interest. There, we discussed the formula. A equals, in SI, income first then amount. In CI, A first then CI. A amount equals P into 1 plus I to the power N. CI is equal to A minus P. Post that we worked out A problem working, A working, P working, CI. We discussed, you know SI, you know CI. Why don't you do CI minus SI? Later they give you CI minus SI. How do you calculate the principal? I worked out 4 methods. Hope you remember. And I told you the best method is question is ulta. You also do reverse. Reverse means work from answer to questions rather than question from answers. We worked out some techniques there. D equals PI square for 2 years only. Post that we discussed, what if N is in part of the year, 10 year, 3 months. Then don't do that 3 months in the formula. Do 10 year, 3 month ka interest separately. 3 months ka interest separately. We discussed later part, how do you compute the compounding if it is half yearly, quarterly. P into 1 plus I by 2 power 2n, power 4 and I by 4 power 4n and so on. Later we discussed rate of interest could be classified as nominal rate and effective rate. Nominal rate in commercial world is also called as a dash rate. Nominal rate is also called first. Nominal rate is also called as what rate? Contractual rate, or in the hotel or canteen you take coupon, so it's coupon rate. Effective rate of interest is the actual rate of interest yielded. I wanted to test my wonderful student. I have taken an example of 100 rupee Canara Bank 10% annual compounding will give you 10% nominal and effective rate. But if at all you do 10% 100 rupee, if at all you do is not an annual compounding, half yearly compounding, it will give you what rate? It will give you what rate? 10.25%. Nominal is 10, effective is 10.25%. This is called as effective rate of interest. Formula: no P no N, 1 plus I by 2 power 2 minus 1, and so on and so forth. We worked out then later how do you do N? What if N is in part of the year? I told if N, don't break your head too much for logarithm, take using calculator and work out. If it is of the part of the year, then that part of the year interest to be added separately. Hope you remember that discussion. Alright, then after this we discussed about how do you work out I, which is more time consuming in case of descriptive. In multiple choice, damn easy, because in case of I, options are there, just substitute. Work out depreciation. How do you compute depreciation? Depreciation is a reduction of value of fixed asset. Land, why not land is chargeable to depreciation, etc. So many theory. Then we learned SLM follows SI logic, WDV follows compound interest logic. Then we discussed about later part an example of annuity. We entered or stepped into annuity. Can you let me know what is annuity? Annuity. It is the periodical payment. I told you when your elder brother born, 1 lakh rupee deposited for 20 years. When you born on every birthday 10,000, don't miss that example. 10,000 every year for 18 years will give you some additional income. But yours is a little complicated case where multiple times CI is to be calculated. Term it as annuity. And classification: annuity certain, annuity contingent, annuity deferred, annuity perpetuity. Certain is of two types: annuity regular and annuity immediate or due. Once you learned that annuity regular or annuity due, we entered into a value of an annuity, future value and present value. You deposit 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 three times. Third year end, what you will get in future? How much amount? For your example sake, oh my God, Kavita, you're too good. It is 36,000 including interest. Oh, excellent. All of you are answering. Similarly, dear students, you borrow some loan today, you have to be repaid in next 3 years. 10, 10, 10, 10, which includes interest there already. So what is your borrowing today? Excellent. All of you are answering 25,000. That is called as present value. Future value formula we worked out. Present value formula we worked out. Then you entered into a concept in the future value called sinking fund. I told you to remember two words. Hello, what are the two words to remember sinking fund? Not to miss any time in your life. Re. What? Just don't tell re. First re for what? Okay. Replacing asset. Excellent. Second re for repayment of liability. In that case, your sinking fund concept comes in, wherein you have to apply dash. It is future value of annuity regular. Repeat. Future value of annuity regular. After learning this interesting concept, we worked out present value, we worked out loan problem. P represents your periodic payment, N represent not number of years, number of installments. I represent not interest rate per annum, interest rate per installment. FV future value, PV present value. I have drawn a diagram to you. Whenever this question comes to you in this chapter, three things will come to your mind. It should come. Is that money now? Call it as PV. Is that money each year? Hello, can make out. Oh, is that money each year? You can call it as present periodic payment. Is that money nth year end? You call it as future value. You call it as future value. Hello, all of you are there. You can make out that on the screen. Students, post this discussion, we entered into the annuity and growth of annuity or annuity. There is annuity perpetuity and growing perpetuity. For annuity perpetuity formula simple, no N, so P divided by I. Since there is a growth in annuity, you have to apply P divided by, all of you write in the denominator. What should be the denominator? P divided by I minus G. Excellent, super. After learning this, we worked out a problem of a hospital wherein you have to do a lot of compounding, a lot of annuity computations are involved. We later, the fourth part, we entered into the decision making. First question was whether you have to buy the machine or you have to lease the machine. So if you buy the machine, you have to pay 50,000. If you go on lease 4 years, dear student, don't compare 4s are 56 and 50. No, that is not the comparison. We learned a new definition. 2 plus 3 plus 4 is not 9. 2 plus 3 plus 4 is not 9 because it matters when did you buy it, when did you receive it. 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 9 only when you buy today, when you receive today. If you buy at some other time, if you receive the money some other time, then it is not 9. That's what 14 4s are 56 is not correct because 14,000 4 times in next 4 years. We worked out the present value and then we compared. And we believed, though it looks to you, leasing is costly. Later we ended up is telling leasing is cheaper than buying option. Hello, all of you are there. And we worked out a problem where machine will give you a benefit and it will give it has involved the cost. We have to work out again benefits in next 4 years, 12,000 5 years. What is today's value? Compare it. Present value of benefits are more than the present value of cost by the machine. But there could be a question, present value of benefit minus present value of cost should be differentiated. That is called as 3-letter NPV. All of you write the full form. NPV, net present value. Write down in the chat box, net present value. All of you are there with me? Net present value. Super. NPV is basically present value of inflow minus present value of outflow. Post that, after learning this NPV, you asked one, some of you asked, sir, what if your annual money cash flow are different? We worked out, take that money, use calculator and write the present value factor, multiply, that is present value of cash flow minus present value of cash outflow, NPV. If positive, buy the machine, you get some money. If negative, you are burning your money, don't go for it. Later we discussed, how do you work out CAGR, compounded annual growth rate, how do you do it? So nth year and the 0th year to be compared and you have to work out the CAGR. After that you worked out, you buy a bond, you don't know how much money you have to pay. What is the market value of that bond? Market value is equal to present value of future benefits. You will get year 1, year 2, year 3 some incomes and you also get year 3 the entire bond value. That present value if you take, you will get the present value of the bonds. I think in detail I have explained in detail to you in all these topics of time value of money. I linked with capital budgeting, I linked with the cost of capital, I have discussed to you about APGP. This is a different topic and has a higher weightage. Hope all of you enjoyed the entire session and definitely this chapter I want to give you much more deep insights to you when you come to see intermediate level. All of you are excited, I think, that for to learn the intermediate again or in the final as well. Till then, I stop here and of course my CA Foundation, some other chapters of maths will continue. That's all. I think you all have my mobile number. Any confusions, as I shared to you last class, if at all you are missed out, you can take 9845771468. And you can let me know any doubts you have. And also my request to all of you is just type, just in the WhatsApp you can send me whether you have understood my classes, whether you any feedback, anything good or anything you understood, anything not understood, you can put there. Hoping to see your responses after this chapter, and within a couple of days you will get the assignment and we'll give 3 days time to give that assignment. And of course there will be one test to you on time value of money. Thank you very much for your very much patient listening and curious puzzle answers and a great learning with all of you. I hope that you also learnt a lot. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.